Hi there. In my Yes. In my last video, I showed how to make a realistic hair texture. In this video, I'm going to show how to make, well, put the texture on the head. Now, I'm using one of the Animasa models that comes with MMD because I think those are fair use. You can do whatever you want with them. So first, I'm going to assign a new material to what I want to work with. That way I can easily find it because I hate how these textures are made. So let's click Assign. I selected her pigtail and then clicked Assign. Now to make the UV mapping easier, let's select this and separate by materials. Now oh man, the materials are set up so strangely. Okay, let's undo that. Alright, now let's go back into edit mode. And L, assign. Good. Now let's go back into object mode now that all of her pigtail is assigned that color. Let's separate by materials. Select her pigtail. And then let's go to edit mode. Now let's start off by selecting all of that, and let's go into View UV Map Image Editor. So here is her twin tail that we have as of now. Let's select it all and then grab to pull it down here. And then we will open an image. Go to Hair Tutorial, and then we will choose blue because that is the image that I selected. Well, I just saved. Now let's go into texture mode so we can see what's going on. As you can see, it doesn't look that good. And the reason for that is that the UV mapping is pretty wonky. So let's select this one. Now and then, no, that was wrong. Anyway, so we want to literally unwrap her hair so that it's as close to a flat object as possible. So to do that, let's go into object mode and hide her headband by pressing H, by clicking on it, right-clicking on his select and pressing H. Now let's go into edit mode and switch back to materials. No, not solid. Now we want to mark a seam. To mark a seam, just pick a random spot, maybe here because it's behind her, and start. Now, in a model that you're making in Blender, you can use Alt-click to select an entire edge loop. When you do that, you're able to select an entire edge loop in one click, whereas here you have to go up the entire surface to try and pick out what you think would look good. And the real kicker about doing this way is that halfway through you realize a better place you could have done it. You're just like, no, all this work, all this tedious work could have been avoided if I had just chosen a slightly different starting point. I could have done this much easier on a different model, but the problem is simply that I really am afraid of stepping on someone's toes. Control E, mark scene, and then select L, and then U, unwrap. And now, instead of being one big random hodgepodge, it is now this nice pear looking thing. Now let's unselect, go back to texture, and object mode. You can see it already looks much better than it did before. Instead of the texture going off in a million different directions, for the majority of it, it looks pretty okay. So now, okay, we need to fix that. So this is an area I said, oh, I'll just tell it to ignore that. So press L, and then press S, and then press Y, and it will make it smaller. Press G to move the very end into the transparent zone so that it has some cute little transparency going on at the bottom. Now let's go into object mode so we can look at it more. As you can see, up here got a little better, but we can still make it even better one by going to size, Y, grab, and if you're annoyed by how close together the strands look, you can go to edit mode and you can press L, and then you can SX, Z doesn't work in a 2D plane, and go like this. That way each square has more hair in it. So when we go to object mode to admire it, it looks less squished together, and it looks more nice. And it even has a cute little ombre effect because the top was in the middle of this. Anyway, now we have some problems. And this is why it's no fun to work with a model that is really hard to UV map. Like poor little Miku, it's so hard to UV map. Anyway, so edit mode. Edit mode. So click this button to keep selection in sync. Okay, so L. I selected one part of this and clicked L, and I can see what. Okay, now let's see where. Okay, so it's in the right place. So let's select L and then G. And here's a cool thing about UV maps, you can layer them on top of each other. And then press S, Z, no, S, X. Now here's the problem with this that you could avoid by just making your own UV, like using a model that isn't so hard to UV map. The problem is that it doesn't really look, you know, that natural or whatever, because it's all, because of how it is all cut up and all of that stuff like that. Because it's at such an angle, you can see the texture looks a little funky. So, okay, L, face. So L, hide that so you can actually, because it looks pretty okay. So you can get an actual view of what you're doing. To hide something, select it, press H. To link us to the select everything, link to your current selection, press L while it is selected. Now let's see. Before we try to fix the UV map for this, and why is that happening? Before we try to fix the UV selection, let's go into object mode and hide Miku, or at least hide her legs. All I'm doing is pressing H. To undo that, press Alt H. I would do it, but that makes all of the bodies show up. Okay, select this, edit mode. Now, let us go into edge mode so we can mark seams. Go uppity, 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 uppity. Click this. Y. Okay. That looked like a little dead end. I just had to move around a bit. Go. And then just keep going up the line. Can't even. There. Just keep going up. Okay, let's mark seam, just because I'm getting so lost. Oh, this is white because that's poking up out there. Gotcha. And then E, mark seam, and you can see the seam. And now let's press L and then unwrap. And as you can see, instead of that mess we had earlier, and let's L, select face mode, L, size on the Y a little bit, G, and then size on the X, G. Let's give her a little shadow there. Alright, so now that we have that, let's press H, and then, what are you doing there? Being lazy. Ah! Okay. L, what? Really? G, then blue. No idea why that was so messed up. Okay, box. Yeah, you see, if you select faces, it'll rotate it'll just, okay, we want it to, that looks about right. Now, B, no, A, B, R, G, R, L. Okay. Let's choose A and then S on the X-axis, not G, S on the X. That looks about right. I am so sorry, this is all like, I am struggling, but golly gosh. Okay, B, S, Okay, there are some mistakes here, and I'm not sure how to fix them. Alright, now object mode. What? What? Hi there! In my last video, I showed you how to make a really easy, realistic, air quotes, texture for hair. Now, let's separate by materials to make this easier. Depending on how well your model was UV mapped, this will either be pretty easy or pretty difficult. I tried making this video with an Animasa default MMD model because I think that's like fair use or something, but the problem was that the UV maps were a giant mess. So I decided I'm going to use a model where the UV maps are a slightly more manageable mess. So let's go into UV image editor. Let's grab her hair and go into edit mode. Now, fun fact about UV maps for hair, well, or anything, is that you can overlay the different parts of the hair. Pretty cool if you ask me. Now, for this, I had UV mapped each little thingamajig as its own little thing, but instead of doing that, I'm going to go into wireframe, I'm going to select B over here, and I'm going to Control E, clear seam. And now when we press A, unwrap, it didn't clear all of the seams. Whoops! Okay, so what's going on here? Control E, clear seams, unwrap. Okay. You know the saying, third time's the charm? Third time has to be the charm. Okay. So I made this Starfire model a long while ago. And I am going to put that realistic hair texture I made on it. Let's go to edit mode. Okay. This is Rim Maples, Hatsune Miku, V4X. Edits and distribution are okay. I shouldn't feel paranoid. Anyway, let's switch over to texture mode. I think I actually replaced her face with a different face just because I wanted to see what would happen. The face came from Michi K's Rin. Don't know if that's okay, but I'm not distributing it, so whatever. Anyway, let's select it. Separate by materials so we can just play with the hair. This is all I've wanted to do all this time. Play with the hair. Why are you not responding? Please respond, Blender. Okay, I've responded. Yay! Now we can play with the hair. Okay, let's open it up, edit. Whee! Oh no, that's not the one I wanted. Okay, object mode. That's the one I want. Yeah. Let's go to edit mode. And let's open this. UV editor. Okay, now let's press L. Give me an L. Give me an unwrap. No, don't do that. Hey. Yeah. So she did this all nice. All nice in a row. But I don't know what's up and what's down. Open image. Haircut. Blue. What happened? It's upside down, I think. Okay. Let's... Yeah, selection is synced. Let's press B. Now the selection isn't synced. Now let's press B. Yeah, that's right. And that is up there. So hey guys, guess what? You literally didn't need to open Blender for this. You could have just replaced her hair texture with this. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, but let's edit the UV map anyway. Like, what's the fun of things if you don't do things? Okay, so A S X S Y, size on the Y, and then go down. Oh wait, no, I got a better idea. So let's select this. Faces. Gotta select faces. Now let's S on the Y to move this down here, grab. And then S on the X and make it massive. And grab. And then the same. L, S on the Y, and then grab, and then S on the X, grab, and then link, S on the Y, grab, S on the X, grab, link, S, Y, G, S, X, L, S, Y, G, S, X, L, S, Y, G, S, X, L, Y, no, S, Y, G, S, X, G, one left. Literally, one more left. L, S, Y, G, S, X, God. Then A for all. Object mode. Because it's so... I messed up. Oh yeah, I messed up. But let's choose a texture. And then let's go to Object Mode, A, Export. I'm just so, oh no, I'm done with this. And it's like, oh, wait a second. We gotta wait around because this is such an intense model. We gotta do the thing. And I'm like, alright, now let's open up the dance thing. Did I save it here? No, I didn't save it there. There's the map. And we gotta wait. Such an intense model. Yep. So, I did a real certified goof here. It's like, okay, let's go to camera. Did a real certifiable goof. You see, because I made the thingamajigs so wide, it all got squishy squished down. So there are only a few places where you can actually see the texture of the hair. And then I did a goof. But you can see that there are little almost transparent tips at the bottom that aren't working the way I assumed they would work. Anyway, let's delete this model and let me show you the things I used to test to make sure this worked. Boop. Animasa. See? How did I get this to work so good? This is a different texture. This texture is, yeah, this one, that's the texture I used for this one. As you can see, I only put shadow and highlight, and she's looking pretty pretty. Yeah, I really like this hair. I think it's pretty. Whee! Showing off your hair, Miku. Alright, now let's delete you, Miku. I don't want you here no more. Now, we also have Luca. Aw, they spelled it wrong. That is so cute. And I gave her red hair. Wasn't supposed to look like that, but she turned into Ronald McDonald. I don't like this hair as much as the previous hair. But you see, and it has those transparent tips that weren't working the way I thought they were gonna. But wee, look at that hair. Look at it. So as you can see, this strand, it was a nightmare to try and UV map this. So this strand, the UV map is wrong because it's going this way and not the way I want it to. Same here. But this one, that one strand, and kind of the back of her head, but the part is wrong. And almost her bangs. Her bangs are almost, like, you know, almost there. So for the Luca hair, I made this. It was too dark, but it was pretty. And then I edited a bit to make that. And that's what Luca is wearing right now.